Have you ever wondered how would you potentially find gradients for linear equations if no points are provided, or sometimes even if they provide you 1 point? You won't be able to use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 strategy to find the gradient. So how is it gonna be possible? Let's find out. Let's go! Given angle. So if I was to make this line into a right angle triangle, and opposite 45 is actually your opposite side, so the side that is opposite your angle is always your opposite, and the side below the angle is always your adjacent. So we know that gradient is always rise over run. Your rise currently is opposite, the opposite side, and your run is currently your adjacent. So your run is right here. So which formula in trigonometry is O over A? Okay, so if we use the acronym SOHCAHTOA, everyone, in our next lesson, well, in a future lesson, I'll go through circular functions and you guys can recap SOHCAHTOA. But since the O and A has a T at the front, we know that O over A is equivalent to tan theta. And everyone should know that theta is the angle. So if you tan the 45, okay, so currently it's in degrees. So if your calculator is already in degrees mode, you don't need to worry too much. You just go tan 45 and you will get 1. And you know this gradient is currently reasonable because the graph is starting low and ending high. Let's get into the next graph. So you can see here that there is another angle, okay? So same rules, it's gonna be, if you wanna find it, you have to tan it. You'll be like, do you sometimes have to use sine and cosine? The answer is no. Only tan will work for finding gradients because opposite is your rise and adjacent is your run. So it doesn't matter how big the angle is, as long as the angle you tan is starting from the x-axis and going anti-clockwise like that. If we talk about circular functions, it's kind of like we're crossing, starting from quadrant 1. But that is, of course, we're going to learn it in the circular function lesson. So if you tan 115, you will get approximately negative 2.14. So there you go. And you know that is reasonable because the graph is starting high and ending low. So it's reasonable that the graph is negative. Let's do another sketch. So another sketch is when they give you an angle that does not start from the x-axis. So they gave you 45 here. So if they give you 45 that is not starting from quadrant 1, all you have to do is find this angle that makes it the 180. So obviously 180 minus 45 is your 135. And there you go. You can start finding your gradient. And if you tan 135, you will get neg 1. And you know that is reasonable as well because it's starting high and ending low. So it's fair that the gradient is negative. What happens if you get a question where they ask you to find the full equation or they ask you to find a certain value on a coordinate point? So if you read this question, it goes, find the value of x for which the line joining the points 3, 7 and b, which is x, 9, making an angle of 45. So all questions, your goal is to find the pronumeral. So the pronumeral here is currently the x value. So if you pull out your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 formula, and you go 9 minus 7, and you go x minus 3, you can find x provided you know how to find the m value. So what is the m value? Well, the m value is tan 45. They gave you the angle that is relevant to that linear line. So tan 45 is 1. We found it in the previous question. And there you go. Your opportunity to find x has arrived. And how do we find that? Well, you swap over the 1 with the denominator. So it's going to be 9 minus 7, which is 2. And you bring the 1 over. And then it's going to be x equals 2 plus 3. And it is 5. And there you go. We have just found the x value when you're not provided complete points and you need to find the gradient first using angles. So after today's lesson, hopefully everyone has realized that there's not only one way to find the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There's actually the second way as well. Even if no points are provided, if you're provided the angle, all you have to do is tan it. And then you can find the gradient. Hope you have mastered it, guys. Just remember, you can still be cool and be good at school. See you guys in my next lesson. Peace out.